Hello there, this is Cindy at cindybdesigns.com. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing a pretty much Stampin' Up! Only card. I made this earlier this week for the Papercraft crew for the midweek inspiration, and I got a ton of positive feedback on that. Somebody asked me if I made a video on it. No, not this particular card. I will if you want me to. But I just wanted to show you what I was able to make from this gorgeous Paisleys and Posies stamp set. And it comes with these coordinating framelits, and there's also designer series paper that coordinates, and it's just a beautiful suite of colors. There's Cajun Craze, Delightful Dijon, Mint Macaroon, Night of Navy, Rich Razzleberry, Soft Suede, Very Vanilla, tons of possibilities. So we're going to use this stamp set, and we're only going to use one image because I'm letting my designer series paper do the work for me. And then for my sentiment, I'm going to go ahead and break out Jar of Love, and my sentiment is going to be Life feels empty without you. That's like a really depressing sentiment. Maybe I'll change it, but it's already out, so I'm a little bit stuck right now. So to start with, we're going to do just a little bit of coloring, well, it's going to be watercoloring. This is 8.5 by, well, it's just 8.5 inches long. And this is 5.5, and then I went ahead and scored it right down the middle at 4.25. And when I score it, it's indented that way. And what you want to do to get a real good fold so it doesn't crack on the edge is fold it back on itself, and then get a bone folder and give yourself that really nice crease. And there is our card base. From the Petals in Paisleys designer series paper. I don't know why they just don't name it the same. I have this piece of cardstock here, and I cut it down to 1/8 of an inch less of what our standard A2 side folding card base is. Again, 4.25 by 5.5. So I cut that, again, 1/8 of an inch down. We have another piece of soft suede cardstock. That's going to be 2 7/8 by 3 3/4. I will have all the dimensions, everything on my blog and underneath the YouTube. Then I have another piece of the same designer series paper. This is 2 3/4 by 3 5/8. One more time. Soft suede. This is 2 3/8 by 3 1/8. And then I have a piece of Very Vanilla cardstock here that is 2 1/4 by 3. So the first thing I want to do is go ahead and get, I have my mini Misty here, is get my image. I guess I can zoom in. Since I think I fixed my tripod, so I'm very excited about that. Let's go ahead and get my image on my card and my sentiment. The only thing I'm not going to be using to Stampin' Up! Is I have some Ranger Archival ink, because since I'm doing some watercoloring, I need something that's waterproof, and I really don't feel like doing any embossing. So I'm going to put that right there. Plus with my Misty, if I don't like my first impression, I can go in again. So there's my image. I need to grab my pokey tool and get my sentiment down here in the left corner. Hopefully it's straight. I have 2 colors here of potting soil and coffee. They look pretty much the same. I'm going to go with coffee. I only pulled out 2 because I haven't used this color of archival ink in a very long time, and I don't know if it's dry or not, and I don't know if I have a refill. But it seems to be going okay. I have a decent enough match. So I'm going to go ahead and close the door to my Misty and then just give it a really good press. Now's the moment of truth. And I'm pretty happy about that. The sentiment, not too sure about, but I think that it'll blur up if I use any more. So, again, we're looking pretty good. I'm just going to go ahead and remove this piece of cardstock from my Misty. Set that aside, and then we'll go ahead and start painting on it. But if you want to zap it with your heat tool for a second to make sure that's totally dry, that's cool. I'm going to set mine aside in the meantime and let it dry, and then maybe give it a little blast of air. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and get our panels on. And I'm using this Tombow Extreme Adhesive. This is really good stuff, and you kind of have to yank it at an angle like that. This doesn't get all gunky on you. Now this cardstock or pattern paper doesn't really matter how you cut it. Because everything's kind of going any which way anyway. So we have that down. I'm going to set that aside and go ahead and grab our next panel. I've already gone ahead and added a layer of black foam to the back of this because I want some dimension basically. So I'm going to grab this panel here and get that adhered onto the top of that soft suede panel. Now this does make a difference in how you cut it unless you like it upside down. It's a personal preference. Now, something like this is really a good idea. Sorry if you get a headshot. To use Tombow, because that way you get a little bit of wiggle room and you don't have any with this. Okay, I'm going to get that down. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull off the back of this tape, or the lining of it. Then I want to cut a length of this mint macaron, whatever it's called, ribbon. And I told you this stuff was sticky. I'm just going to cut it right about there. What you want to do with this one here, this ribbon, is you want this to be 100% in the middle. I'm not going to measure, I'm going to eyeball. And then just fold it over, and that adhesive is going to catch it. I'm glad my tripod's fixed, but it's not making this any easier on me, to tell you the truth, but that's the way it works. I'll get used to it. So I want to go ahead and get my entire card panel lined up on my grid mat, and I want to make sure that this is right in the middle, and then get this adhered down. We have some good dimension going on in this card. Okay, nice, feeling pretty good about that. Let's go ahead and pull back in our image panel that we're going to color. This is not watercolor paper, okay? It's Stampin' Up! Very vanilla, but the watercoloring is super minimal. I'm not one of those who like to press down the top of my ink pad from my Stampin' Up! Pads and squish it. It's just really messy. So what I like to do is grab a really big block, and now I'll zoom out, and markers. So right here I have Delightful Dijon, And then I'm just going to scribble that on the block. And I'm going to do that with all 5 colors. This is Cajun Craze. I do kind of want to give them each their own space. Then I have Night of Navy. That mint macaroon color. I don't even know if I'm going to use all these, but might as well have them out and ready to go. Now I was thinking about coloring in or adding some Wink of Stella just to shine this up a little bit in certain places, but instead, this is another great idea, is a couple years ago Stampin' Up came out with this sheer shimmer. So instead of adding water, I am going to go ahead and squirt my color with this instead. So it's like automatic shimmer, and that's the kind of mess that it's going to make. So I'm going to go ahead and put that over to my side. Kind of wipe that down a little bit because my cardstock is going to get wet, but not anymore. So we're going to pull that in, and I'm going to grab a paintbrush and zoom back in, and I am going to start coloring. Now that I have all of my colors on here, on my block, I can go ahead and start grabbing my paintbrush. And again, we're using really minimal water and minimal color, so it's not going to be all crazy. And what I think I'm probably going to end up doing is, this is going to take a little while for me to do because I got to stay inside the lines, and I don't want to go over it a bunch of times because this is not watercolor paper. So I'm going to hush up, and I'm going to speed this up, and we've already gone over the colors, so you have a good idea as far as what I'm going to be using. And they're so far apart with each other, you'll be able to tell what's what. So here you go. This is like a lot of watercoloring, and it turned out pretty darn good, to be honest with you. Lots of little teeny tiny lines, but it's watercoloring. It's not supposed to be perfect. So this is what my palette looks like now that I am done. As you can see, lots of cleanup. And the good thing about this is that all you have to do is just take it over to your sink and rinse it off. That's all there is to it. So I'm really hoping that this is completely dry, and I'm afraid to touch it. But one way to find out is to just be real super careful. Flip it over and just tap it. And if you see anything down here, you know it's not dry. I did not see anything. So we're good to go. I am going to go ahead and put, going to, we are going to go ahead and then grab in this panel here. Once again, I'm going to be using that fast fuse I just saw, or that Tombow. That's going to go right on all 4 sides. And this, I may seem like adhesive neurotic, but my cards do not fall apart. And we're talking years later, and cross-country moves, and being in attics in Kentucky, storage, things like that. Okay, I have one shot at this to get it right. So once again, get a headshot. Whoa, not good. I apologize. Okay, hold on. I have to save this because I should have been quiet. If you have a Cricut, yes, spatula works like a dream every single time. and I don't have anything. And if it gets a little bit bent, you're okay, because since this adhesive is super strong, it's not going to go anywhere. And I do have it placed a little bit too low at the bottom, but right now it's on. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so there's our image panel. Let me get this mess out of the way. We're going to go ahead and pull off the adhesive on the back of our image panel. And then I want to get this right smack in the middle of that other panel as well. And I can't wait to do a copper card with this stamp set. So we're going to see how this turns out with all these different colors in here and how well they match in. Now they're going to be lightened up because I watercolored it, but you know what? I'm cool. And I'm going to actually move this over to the right a little bit and just keep it centered up and down. And I will tell you why. You have a little bit of wiggle room with the score tape until you really give it a good press. Because I had this cute little bow that I've already made with that rim that I showed you, and it's doubled up. I need to put a glue dot on the back of that. These guys are strong. All you need is one. If it makes you feel better, put two. And I'm just going to put that little bow right there. This card's so girly. I never make girly cards. Now to finish our embellishment, I have three. These look like 6mm copper sequins. I don't know where they came from. Yeah, I do. They came from the floor in my craft room. No lie. So we want to get that visual triangle going. I definitely want one on that panel. And let's do one like over down here, kind of around, maybe towards the corner a little bit more. And the other one's going to be up top again for that triangle. And there we go. That is our card. What do you think? I think it's pretty cool. So I hope that this is really short, because I'm trying, and I hope that you enjoy this card and that you got inspired by it. I would like to thank you for stopping by my YouTube channel today to watch my video. I still have that Verve box of stamps for sale. I've reduced the price by $60, so you can check that out at cindybdesigns.com. Go to my nav bar, and I have for sale now. Click on that, and then you'll see a box. I'll be doing another box this weekend. What else? Oh, if you want any of the supplies that I used here, once again, please go to cindybdesigns.com and then click on my Stampin' Up website, and that'll take you right there, and you can load up your cart. And I'll also have a list of supplies that I used in the description box of this YouTube video and in the supply box over at this blog post, and I will leave a direct link to the blog post on the YouTube description. That was a mouthful. So once again, thank you so much for stopping by to visit me, and I hope that you like my card. God bless. Have a great weekend. I will see you soon. Bye.